I'm going to show you the ideal way to set up Facebook ad campaigns based on Meta's best practices, what they recommend in their documentation. And in this video too, I'm going to split it into two sections. The first section that we're going to go into is just going to be the actual how-to step-by-step setup. And in the second section, I'm going to explain more of the theory and the best practices that are recommended by Meta. If you're somebody that's completely new to Facebook ads, or maybe you're kind of familiar, you're kind of an intermediate, I recommend you watch this video all the way through to the end and then go back and rewatch sections as you need them. All right, so how to actually set up a Facebook ad campaign for the first time. Start by going to business.facebook.com and your page should look something like this. If it doesn't look like this, that's likely because you haven't set up your Facebook ad account in the first place, nor have you set up any kind of business profile. I have a video on how to do that. Click the link above. Otherwise, let's go to Ads Manager and it'll bring you to a page that looks something like this. This is just a blank test ad account that I have for demonstration purposes. And we're going to hit the green Create button. And you'll see a screen that looks something like this. Now, from here forward, it's very important to note, Facebook ads are always evolving. They're always changing new things. They're always testing stuff. So you have to be aware that some of the options that we're going to see in the coming steps are going to be a little bit different depending on when you're watching this video, because again, everything is constantly changing and evolving. Facebook Meta is always rolling out new features, testing new things, but generally speaking, you will see the same basic options that I'm seeing on the screen. So right here on this screen, what we're doing is we're telling Meta what the goal of our campaign is. Now, for most businesses, that's going to fall into one of two categories. Either you're doing some kind of sales, you're running ads directly to some kind of sales page, like maybe an e-commerce store, e-commerce page, or you're trying to generate leads. Maybe you've got a lead magnet of some kind. So you're driving traffic to some kind of name, email capture form, something like that. These other options, there is a time and a place for them, but those require a slightly different setup. So in this video, I'm going to focus on leads and sales, which is a very similar setup. And I'm just going to select leads personally. Now Facebook is going to ask you for what type of campaign setup you want to do. Facebook is actually in the process. Meta is actually in the process right now of rolling out some changes so that you might not even see the screen to begin with. If you do see it, select manual leads campaign. And now we're brought to this main screen where you see the main campaign up at the top, the ad set level, and then the ads themselves. At the campaign level, that's where we select our objective, which we just did. We're going to name the actual campaign itself and select some other minor options. Under the ad set level, that's where we're going to focus more on what type of audience we want to target, the location, the age, the interests those people have, for example. And then under the actual ads, new leads ad, this is where you actually set up your ad creative, the images, the video that people see on the front end while they're scrolling Facebook and Instagram. So under campaign name, you're just going to want to choose a name. Typically for every product or offer that you have, you're going to set up a completely separate different campaign. In this case, I'm creating a campaign for a free ebook that I have. So I'm just going to call this Webinar Wealth Engine Free Opt-in. Special ad categories for most people, you could skip this entirely. Now, Advantage Campaign Budget, I recommend you do turn this on. This is where you're going to set your how much spending you want to do per day. And what Meta will do is will distribute that across different ad sets. But we're probably only going to have one ad set anyway. If you did have multiple ad sets, Meta would automatically figure out which ones are performing better and allocate more budget towards them. So choose whatever your daily budget is going to be. In my case, I'm just going to go for $10 a day. It's a good starting budget. Get a little bit of data rolling through, and then I'll increase it over time. And that's it for the campaign level. I'm going to hit next. Now we're on the ad set level. This is where we're going to choose what kind of audience that we're going to target. So for now, I'm actually going to skip the ad set name because typically what I like to do is name the ad set after the specific audience that I'm targeting. So I don't have an audience that I'm targeting yet, so I'm actually going to come back to this. Let's start with conversions. In my case, I'm driving traffic to an opt-in page where people fill out their information and then they get an ebook sent to their email. So I'm going to go to website. Performance goal, maximize the number of conversions. Data set, this is going to be the pixel that you have. Select whatever data set you're using. Conversion event, in this case, I'm going for complete registration. So in other words, people land on the landing page, they fill out their name, their email, they hit submit, they get taken to a thank you page. When they land on that thank you page, that triggers a complete registration in the pixel, and that sends that data back to Facebook. In your case, maybe it'll be a sale. So they land on your sales page, they buy your product, they get sent to the thank you page, the sale is registered, that data gets sent back to Facebook. All right, scroll down to budget and schedule. We already set the budget at the campaign level, but now we're going to choose the actual start date and time. What I like to do when I set up campaigns is I'll usually start them the next day. That way there's time to get approval, there's time to go back in and do last minute edits. So in this case, I will set this for the March 27th, and I will start it at 6 a.m. Now, at this point, you could choose an end date. If you're doing something like a limited time event, like a webinar, you could choose the exact time that the ads end. But typically for most campaigns, you're going to want to set no end date. You're going to want to run the ads indefinitely and then just turn them off manually as you see fit. Next, scroll down to audience controls. This is where you can pick the actual countries or areas that you want to target. So in my case, I'm actually going to change this. I don't know why it says Philippines, but I'm going to change it to the United States. Remove Philippines. There we go. Next is the Advantage Plus audience. Previously, this section was where you selected stuff like interests that people had or their specific age, their gender, and stuff like that. Facebook has moved away from doing that. What they prefer now is to keep things as broad as possible. You can make suggestions to them, but their algorithm is going to go out and find people that are actually resonating with your ads, and they're going to decide based on their secret algorithm, their little black box, what's best for you. And so you can come in here and you can make suggestions to them. And so in my case, I might be targeting social media marketers. Maybe if you're selling a product to real estate people, or maybe if you're selling dog toys, you'd be targeting people that are interested in pets. So you can come in here and you can actually make suggestions to Meta. You can suggest what age you would like to target. I'm going to just keep this broad. In my case, it doesn't really matter. Gender, same thing. Detailed targeting, this is where you'd select interests or behaviors and stuff like that. Again, just a suggestion for Meta. In my case, social media marketing, and then I'm going to hit save audience. Just give it a name, doesn't really matter. We can use it later though. Now that I've selected an interest, I can go back up to the top and I can change the ad set name to interest social media marketing. And now if I had multiple ad sets with multiple different interests, I could tell very quickly which ones are which. Now I'm going to discuss this a little bit further later. It's actually better not to have a ton of different ad sets. It used to be standard practice that you would have multiple ad sets where you test different interests. Maybe you have 3 different interests that you want to test against each other and just see which interest performs best. Meta has kind of moved away from that. They want you to just suggest interests, and so you can kind of just put them all into one ad set. There's really no need to have tons of different ad sets, and Meta tends to prefer that you only have one to begin with. Now down here under placements, I'm just going to leave this as is. Meta has their own system for how they're going to be placing ads, different locations that the ads are going to appear. They're going to test it on their own. I'm not going to mess with it too much. Now over here on the right side, you might actually see some kind of scoring system. In some ad accounts that appears, I see it occasionally myself. The scoring system is just based on what Meta recommends for the best possible reach that you can get. And for most business owners, you're going to want to follow their instructions here. So if they suggest to turn something on or turn something off or tweak something, I do recommend you follow their instructions because you will tend to get better results. There are some edge cases where you will want to ignore their scoring system. But for most people, if you get a score over here on the right side, do your best to get it as close to 100 as possible. But other than that, let's hit next and go to the ads. All right, so now we're on the ad level itself. For most campaigns, you're going to be running multiple ads head-to-head to see what performs best. Ideally, if you're doing Facebook ads a lot, you're going to be constantly testing new creatives. With one of the companies that I worked with, we were doing anywhere from 20 to 50 new ad creatives every single month just to test stuff out, constantly putting stuff out there. Now, general best practices, and I'll get into this more a little bit later in the video, but general best practices is you don't run more than maybe 5 or 6 ads running per campaign at one time, but I'll get into that again in a minute. So let's start with the ad name. You want to differentiate this. Maybe you've got a static image over here. Maybe you've got a video with a particular hook over here. Maybe you've got another video with a different speaker over here. You want to, however you're doing your ads, you want to just name it so that you can differentiate the different types of ads. In this case, I'm just going to go with static cover 1 because I'm going to be creating 4 different ads with different covers, and that's how I'm going to differentiate it. Partnership ad, for most people, you can skip this. Now, identity, this is where you're going to be running your ads on some kind of Facebook page and even preferably an Instagram page. Hopefully you have your Instagram page linked to your Facebook page so that you can run ads on both. It's very useful to do that because often you'll also grow in followers and reach if you do that. I don't have an Instagram page linked to it. I will fix that later. Next, scroll down to ad setup. We're going to create the ad itself. For this dropdown, you can actually select existing posts if you have your Instagram account linked, for example, and you can, if you had a particular post that went really well, that performed really well, you could actually run an ad directly to that post without having to repost it, which is very useful sometimes, as long as it has a good call to action. So in some cases, I'll actually test that against other ad creatives that I'm doing. I'll just take an organic piece of content that performed well and turn it into an ad. But for most cases, you're going to just be creating a brand new ad from scratch. I'm going to select manual upload, single image or video, destination. In my case, again, this is going to a landing page, an opt-in page. So I'm going to enter that URL here. Most of these options you can skip. They are not relevant. Scroll down to ad creative. This is where you're going to actually upload the image or video of the ad itself. So in this case, I'm going to select image. I'm going to navigate over here to media. I'm going to upload an image. And just really quick while this uploads, if you find these types of videos and guides useful, please consider subscribing to the channel. Greatly helps me grow, helps people find me. All right, so on this page, it's going to show you typically how your image looks. In my case, my image is kind of rectangular, so it's not going to quite fit in some different placements. So I'm just going to come here and just kind of adjust this. In this case, the square version looks good. The vertical long version looks pretty good. The horizontal version does not look good, so I'm going to adjust this a little bit. There we go. The webinar wealth engine. And then I'm just going to hit next. Image generation, I'm just going to skip this entirely. And enhancements, I'm just going to skip this as well and click done. Now over here on the right side, you'll see a little preview of what your ads are going to look like on different sizes and different platforms. That looks good to me, so I'm going to keep scrolling. Now down here, we're going to want to customize the actual text on the ad itself. Now this primary text will actually appear at the top of your ad here, so you can kind of use it as a sort of headline. And what's great is you can add multiples. You can add up to 5, and then Facebook will just test different ones and see what performs better. So for now, I'm just gonna create one of these, but I encourage you to go through this and actually create multiples. The next section is the headline itself, and this text appears at the bottom of the ad, right next to the call to action button. And again, you can write up to 5 of these, and Facebook will try out different options and see what performs better. Next is the description. Somebody wants more information about the product or the offer that you have. You want to write out a long description that gives much more detail. Typically, I'll repurpose a lot of the stuff that would be on the sales page or on the landing page itself, put that in the description. In this case, I just had AI write something really quick for me. So I'll paste that in here and then just keep moving on. Now the call to action, this button, I prefer to use something like learn more or download. In this case, download probably makes sense. If you have a calendar link, for example, you might say book now or apply now. Order now if you're selling some kind of product. Choose whatever is most relevant to you. In the next section, Meta is going to suggest Advantage Plus creatives. That's where they use AI to enhance whatever video or images that you've uploaded. I tend to just trust the algorithm to be able to figure it out. So a lot of these I will just turn on just to see what happens. So in my case, I uploaded a static image. Sometimes they'll have some kind of AI enhancement so that it's like moving or looks 3D or something like that. I figure that could only help me, so I usually turn these on. Next, scroll down to tracking. This is where you select your data set or your pixel. In my case, it says the pixel is not active. That's because this is a test account, so this particular pixel is not active, but yours should be if you set your stuff up correctly. And then other than that, most of these options are not relevant. You might have URL parameters if you were using some kind of third-party tracking software, which you most likely are not, but that's where you would put those parameters. But other than that, the ad is fully set up. Now, what I'm going to do personally is now that this is fully set up the way I want it, I'm just going to duplicate this multiple times. In this case, 3 times. And all I'm going to do is change the image on all 3 of them. So that way I have 4 separate ads running with different ad creatives. And then Meta will allocate my budget, distribute it between those 4 different ads. We'll see which ones perform best. And then in a couple weeks, I'll just turn off the ones that aren't performing well. All right, so that's everything you really need to set up the ad campaigns using best practices. But now let me just discuss a little bit of the theory behind this so you know what to expect moving forward and scaling. As we discussed earlier, the campaign level is where you set your objectives. You tell Meta exactly what you're trying to achieve. You're trying to collect leads. Maybe you're trying to get traffic. Maybe you're just trying to get sales. And then at the ad set level, that's where you set up your targeting, what kind of audience you want to target in the first place. And then the ads themselves are the creatives that people see in their feed themselves. So typically what people used to do, and when I say used to, I mean just a few years ago, but this has changed, is they would set up a campaign and they would have an ad set with audience A. Maybe it's targeting a specific interest, or maybe it's targeting like a very specific age group. And then they'd have all 4 of their ads, for example. They had 4 different ads under that ad set. And then they would copy that ad set under the same campaign, and they would just change the audience, maybe just a slightly different interest or a slightly different age group. And then they would run that with the same 4 ads again. And the purpose of this was to test the 2 different interests against each other. In some cases, the 2 different interests, or the 2 different audiences might be a warm audience versus a cold audience. And then they would just try to see which ad creatives or which general ad sets were performing better. But Facebook doesn't want us to do that anymore. Instead, what they want us to do is create a single campaign with a single ad set with all the ad creatives under that ad set. And in that ad set, you've got all of your suggestions. You've got all the interests, all the age groups that you want to target, etc., all the locations. And you're just suggesting to Facebook. You're just suggesting what you want to target. You're not actually creating hard limits. And their algorithm will go out and decide based on their own, whatever proprietary system, their own decision-making process. They may use your suggestions, they may not, but this is what Meta is currently recommending that people do. And so if you're still setting up your campaigns like this, where you're trying to test multiple ad sets against each other, that's not what Meta wants you to do anymore. Instead, set it up under one ad set and just test those ad sets or test those interests as suggestions in the ad set. If you're a business owner that's running Facebook ads, you might already know this, but typically the best practice for running ads is to be constantly testing every month, testing new ad creatives all the time. And so in a typical month, you might test 20, 30, 50 plus ad creatives. And so the question, a very common question people ask is, should I just keep putting those under the same ad set? Should I just stuff my ad set full of, tons of creatives? In this case, in this image, I showed 18 different ad creatives under this ad set. Meta actually recommends you do not do this. What Meta recommends you do is you set up your ad set, your campaign, and you have about 6 ad creatives at most under that ad set. Let's say you're testing 60 ad creatives every single month. That means you're going to set up 10 campaigns that look like this. This campaign is going to test 1 through 6. This campaign is going to test 7 through 12, etc. And now in each of these batches, each of these campaigns, maybe ad number 2 is a good performer in this one. And maybe on this campaign, ad number 9 and 11 are the top performers. And so you would just turn off your ads that aren't performing well. In this case, 7, 8, 10, 12. And now you've got these 2 campaigns that are kind of running against each other. So you've got your winning ad creatives in both of these campaigns running against each other. And then the next month, you're starting to test new creatives. You just create a brand new ad campaign, 1 ad set. You've got your 6 ad creatives. You run those against each other and you see what works. If you're working with a very small budget, it might even be better to just test maybe 3 ad creatives at a time in your campaign. Because let's say you're running $10 a day or $20 a day in your campaign, that $10 or $20 is split across all of your ad creatives. So the more ad creatives you have, the more split up your budget becomes, and the longer it's going to take you to get good data. And so if you're working with a small budget, it might be better for you to create your campaigns that are even smaller. Instead of 6 ads, you're running only 2 or 3 ads at a time. I have an entire playlist of videos just like this teaching you how to set up and optimize Facebook ads and scale them. If you want to check that out, that's appearing on the screen right now. And if you found this video useful, please hit the like button and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching.